Good morning, and welcome to your Stylo News Intelligence Update. Today, we're covering the rapidly escalating conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan, a situation that's now threatening the stability of the entire South Asian region. This briefing is brought to you by ProWave AI, the developers of Stylo News. And to celebrate their first year of operations, they're offering a special discount for our viewers. You can just use the code STYLO on their website. The full details are right there for you. All right, let's get started. We begin in the Afghan capital, Kabul, where a recent event has pushed an already tense situation to a dangerous new level. On March 16th, a single Pakistani airstrike resulted in a catastrophic loss of civilian life. The current estimate is over 400 killed. Now, this isn't just a number. It represents a major escalation and, frankly, a profound human tragedy. The international reaction was, as you can imagine, immediate and sharp. India, a major player in the region, did not hold back, using the very strong language you see here. When a country's Ministry of External Affairs calls something a massacre, you know the diplomatic fallout is going to be severe. And what makes this incident even more distressing is the target. The strike hit a hospital, a place for treatment and recovery. The destruction of this kind of essential civilian infrastructure has triggered an immediate humanitarian crisis and sent a chilling signal about where this conflict could be heading. Now, this attack didn't happen in a vacuum. It was the explosive culmination of a series of confrontations that have put the entire region on a knife's edge. So, how did things escalate so quickly? Well, if you look at this timeline, you can see a very clear pattern. It started with border conflicts intensifying in late February. Then, on March 15th, Afghanistan retaliated with its own airstrike. And just one day later, Pakistan responded with that devastating attack on Kabul. We do have a temporary ceasefire right now for the holiday, but given this tit-for-tat escalation, its stability is, well, it's uncertain. And this isn't happening in isolation. The conflict is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. At the same time, we're seeing an Iran-UAE missile crisis that's disrupting global energy. And of course, the long-standing tensions between India and Pakistan are always simmering. It's a very volatile mix where one spark could easily ignite the entire region. And the consequences are already cascading outward. We have a humanitarian crisis with over 115,000 people displaced from the border fighting alone. The instability in the Gulf has prompted Qatar Energy to declare force majeure, which is a legal step basically saying they can't fulfill their contracts. And for everyday people in places like Pakistan and Bangladesh, this means fuel rationing. It just goes to show how quickly a regional conflict can ripple out into a global economic problem. So, with the situation this complex, what does the rest of the world have to say? Well, as you might guess, there are some very different perspectives on what's happening. At the heart of it all are two completely irreconcilable narratives about the hospital strike. Pakistan maintains it was a precise operation against terrorist infrastructure. Afghanistan, on the other hand, calls it a blatant attack on civilians and a violation of its sovereignty. There's really no middle ground here, which makes any kind of diplomatic solution incredibly difficult. Looking at the major global powers, India has clearly aligned with Afghanistan, sending aid and calling for accountability. The United States is watching closely, though its primary focus in the wider region remains on Iran. The UN, for its part, is calling for restraint and dialogue. And then there's China, which is militarily supporting its ally Pakistan, though interestingly, Islamabad has rejected Beijing's offers to mediate. All of this leads us to the crucial question: where does the region go from here? The situation is incredibly volatile, and the next steps will be critical. Really, the most pressing question is what happens when this temporary ceasefire ends? Will it be an opportunity to de-escalate and begin talks? Or is it simply a pause for both sides to rearm and prepare for the next round? Here are 4 key developments we'll be watching closely. First, that ceasefire. Its success or failure is the immediate indicator. Second, mediation. Will countries like Russia and Turkey be able to bridge the deep distrust between the two sides? Third, what will the UN Security Council do? Will it take more concrete action? And finally, these shifting alliances. The conflict is pushing Afghanistan closer to India and Pakistan deeper into its partnership with China, and those alignments could reshape the region for years to come. Now, this has just been a high-level overview of a very complex and fluid situation. For a much deeper analysis of these events, including India's strategic position, we invite you to listen to today's full Stylo News Intelligence Update podcast. You can find it on your favorite channel, or simply follow the link in this post. Thank you for joining us for this update. Stay informed with Stylo News, powered by ProWave AI.